Hey everybody, welcome to the video. This is our Wisdom Wednesday video. However, I wanted to set this one up because this session is a little bit different than sessions we've done before. Last Wednesday we held our monthly Wisdom Wednesday every third Wednesday of the month at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was also the first day of our carrier rollout tour in Nashville, Tennessee at the zoo. This is an event we held with our carrier partners where agents could come and hear about plans for the 2025 plan year from the broker managers themselves. They had a walk around area. There was also individual sessions. So it was a great time and register for those. I'll also have a link down in the description for that. The reason I wanted to set this session up is because on the drive back from Nashville, our strategic partnership manager, Courtney Vidas, and our head of sales and development, Heather Burley, called into the session to relay some information that they learned at the rollout tour. Now, this is important because on the drive from Nashville to Knoxville, if you've ever done it, there's several sections of the drive where the cell service is not great. So the audio in this session is a little jumbled in places. We tried to edit it as best we could so that the sound was audible for you. However, there are still some sections where the service just cut out. So knowing that ahead of time, you'll know why it's kind of jumbled up. But before we dive into the session, we want to ask you to do a couple things. First, if you would like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell right down there so that way you're notified anytime we have new content available. With that being said, let's dive into our Wisdom Wednesday session from the road.
So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I have my guest speaker here with me, Heather Burley. We're going to tell you everything that we were able to take in from our rollout tour today in Nashville, Tennessee. We learned some pretty cool things. Would you like to start with Blue Cross Blue Shield, Heather?
I'd love to. Thanks for having me.
You are in the car.
So. I am in the car, so I am convenient. So Blue Cross came in very strong today, gave us some sneak peeks, I guess we'll say, at some of what we can expect this year, for at least for Tennessee, because we are Blue Cross Blue Shield Tennessee is what we're talking about. For starters, doesn't appear to be any place, which is so pretty grateful for that, but also overall, best we can tell from our sneak peek, a lot of benefits are going to hold pretty steady. It's going to look really stable for Blue, which means it'll be stable for our members and for our agents that use Blue Cross Blue Shield as any kind of primary carrier for them. So lots of good information around the DSNP, should still be very, very competitive, really good benefits for those clients, and as well as our Sapphire, Ruby, what's the other one? Emerald? I always get confused. Shouldn't see any major hits. We'll see what we can all expect as a result of the Inflation Reduction Act, some increases around maxed out of pockets, some decreases a little bit on some cost sharing, but overall should be really stable.
Definitely agree. So Old Faithful proves to be tried and true once again. Stay tuned for their official first look. They're going to be emailing that out, I'm sure, within the next couple of days. There is definitely some really positive information in there that we are not allowed to give out right yet. But if you just keep lookout from Blue Cross Blue Shield or our NCC emails, we will make sure that you have that as soon as we get it. There are some plans out there that are going to have a little bit more disruption. Aetna showed a few plan exits, one of which is going to be a crosswalk in Tennessee. That's the key. So I know we're just driving back from a Tennessee rollout, but just to touch on some other states, there's some plan exits in Georgia, some plan exits in Mississippi, all, with other carriers, similar carriers that are not going to have crosswalks. I cannot say this enough, guys, especially with Aetna. Please check your plan numbers. The plan numbers are going to be your key to Aetna's success this year. Plan names aren't necessarily changing, but the plan numbers are, which means prior plans are exiting, which means that your clients are going to need to be rewritten.
I like to say that I'm going to jump in here, Courtney, and say one thing that I try to remind agents is if you're focusing on the plan name, think about it like a car. So you've got makes and you've got models, right? You got a Chevy or you've got a Traverse. But when you're looking at your plan names, if you're hearing things like Aetna Freedom Plus, Aetna Signature, Humana Gold Plus, you're hearing a larger name there. And you got to really look at those numbers because 2 or 3 or a dozen plans could all fall under that category. So they're not the Traverses, they're your Chevys. And you're going to want to look a lot closer. And like Courtney mentioned, especially with Aetna, because we are seeing them use the same names because that's the household name that people are used to. We're seeing Freedom Plus, but if you'll notice, it's got the little banner next to it that says new for 2025. That means it is not the same plan as last year. It is not a modification. It is not continuing with new benefits. It is a new plan, and your clients may or may not be crosswalking depending on that specific plan in that specific market. You may need to take care of them all over again, or they may be funneling right over.
So it's overall, it's going to be a heavy homework year. Even with the carriers, we got some of these carriers that came to our meeting today. It was the first time that they talked about their 2025 benefits. So even the carriers are still learning their plans. We're still learning their plans. Some plans we just learned about today for the first time, haven't even seen paper benefits yet. But if I can say anything, it is communicate with your clients. Nothing is going to be more detrimental to you than making your clients call you. They don't necessarily understand to call. They don't understand that their plan may or may not be changing or may not be exiting. You do. You are your client's superhero. And as you can see on our happy little screen, we have a little comic theme for our rollout tour. Thank you, Heather, the theme lady.
That's right. It's our supercharged rollout tour this year because we are going to be the superheroes.
Not us. You. You as an agent are going to be the superhero. We are going to be your trusty sidekicks in the background, trying to help you navigate these interesting waters. But the one thing, so whether you're setting up ANOC meetings, whether you are trying to use a tool like Retire Flow, we do have a discount for that, by the way. If you don't know what Retire is, please stay tuned for some NCC emails. You'll see a big webinar set up for a Retire Flow demo. And if you attend that demo, you will get a Retire Flow discount code. That is specific to NCC agents and will give you a 40% discount on a tool. What are you thinking? 20, 30 minutes per client?
Absolutely. And especially since you're going to see more clients that are already on your books, needed reworked this year, the ability to have them pre-fill in a lot of that information around their clients and their drugs and sign their scope and get it back to you before you've even gotten on the meeting. It's going to save you a significant amount of time. Gives them the space to do it on their time without any pressure of maybe missing a med or missing a doctor. And you get the assurance of knowing that you've got that information before you've even got started.
I mean, I don't know about you. I'd rather them fill out their meds at home than bring me a bag of them and say, here you go.
That is a fact.
Carpal tunnel's real, y'all. So let them do as much of the typing as they can. Retire Flow will also let them sign and fill out a scope of appointment. And I think you said earlier it was a bona fide permission to contact.
Absolutely.
So if they get sent to you as a lead from Retire Flow, even if they're brand new to your potential book of business, that is permission to contact.
Encrypted, HIPAA compliant. They've already done all of the legal work, which saves us because, as we all know, compliance is a hard thing to tackle. So anytime somebody else has done that legwork, I'm appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely. Another cool thing that we learned is sometimes these rollout tours come with more marketing information than not. And what you will see at each one of our rollout tours is the time set aside for an agent roundtable. And we're going to talk about marketing from a retention factor as well as a new client factor. And Kelly from Willoughby, she brought up a really interesting idea, and something that she used to do as an agent. And she would set her clients' appointments like 6 to 12 months out. If they were a birthday client, an agent, especially somebody who's an October birthday like me. If I'm turning 65 in October, I need 2 months worth of coverage. Heather doesn't want to have to remember to call me in January to potentially change my plan.
And we definitely don't want to trust on my memory that we're getting there.
That is also accurate. But I would put my appointment like I do at the dentist in my phone. So I know that come, January or December 1st or, November 20th, whatever that may be, I have an appointment with Heather because I need a new plan to start January 1. So think about that. Schedule yourself out. Pre-do as many appointments as you can. Again, Retire Flow is going to fit into that. You can send out that link with your appointment reminders.
And a huge reality about that is, I don't know about you guys, but I always pre-schedule my dentist when I'm there, my doctor when I'm there, so that I have the next visit scheduled. But 6 months, 12 months down the road, when they send me a text and they say, hey, we're going to see you on Thursday. Well, Thursday doesn't really work for me anymore, but I will immediately reach out and say, hey, I can't make it on Thursday, but what do you have available? And then I'm looking at my calendar right then and I make that appointment and I go. Whereas if I never get it, I'm just never going. 6 months, 12 months will pass and I will never even think to make the appointment.
1,000,000%. So the more you can do ahead of time, get yourself in their phone as a reminder. We have some agents that ask their clients to put them in as a contact, so that they know when the agent's reaching out, it is not a spam phone call. Stop your clients from answering the phone outside of your name that's attached to their phone that says my insurance agent. Stuff like that, just little helpful hints from people who have been doing this for a really short period of time that have just had a lot of success. And some people who have been doing this a crazy long period of time and just have some tried and true methods that they use to save themselves as much time as possible. I think it was Harry that said, time is precious in so many different ways. So if he can save some time, he's going to figure out a way to do that. What else was some of the things?
So, we're talking about it being really important to make sure you are staying in front of your clients. We had somebody mention today during the roundtable, hey, friendly reminder, your client is somebody else's lead, and could not be more true. We had some suggestions around magnets for the refrigerator where you put your information, you have those pre-printed, and then perhaps it's got like a place where they can write on it with a dry erase marker listing their doctor's names and phone numbers. And that ties you as the agent to them and their medical care. We also talked various different swag options that you can use to stay in front of your client's memory. One really inexpensive item that we see a lot of traction out of, very useful. Ironically, I have one in my purse today.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Is a little plastic sleeve. It's super simple, folds in half. You open it up, they can put their Medicare card or their carrier card, and then on the other side, they put your business card. Every time they go to get that card out to provide it at a doctor or a pharmacy or whatnot, they see your card. They have tied you to their Medicare needs, so that each year when you're coming around and you're reaching out for your retention base or asking for referrals, you're top of mind for them. We did talk a lot, obviously, about inflation reduction and how that's going to affect this year. So this year, it's going to be critical that you're in front of their minds, and we really recommend starting now. I mean, it is the end of August by all stretches. You need to be getting those letters sent out, getting those calls made, sending those emails, set up automations, pay a college kid to sign a bunch of envelopes for you. Whatever you can do to get your information in their hands first, because the Sharks are going to be chomping this year. It's going to be a busy year, and their phones, I guarantee, are already ringing off the hook.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure you're sitting there saying, well, what am I supposed to tell them? Well, use the ancillary carriers to help you with that. Dental carriers, hospital indemnity carriers, cancer carriers, whatever that may be. Pick an ancillary plan and just send them some information regarding it. Most of these ancillary carriers will print them either at a very low cost or no cost for you and help you mail those to your client. So use the carriers to your advantage, just like you're talking with your Medicare Advantage broker managers. Give us a call if you don't know who to reach out to on an ancillary carrier side. If I can make a case to get you some free marketing items, I promise you those marketing items will be in the mail to you so that you have them, so you're able to get in front of your clients, and so they remember who you are. Just friendly little reminders. Hey, this is Dwight. I'm your friendly insurance agent. I wrote your policy last year. Here's something to think about. They have all these pieces that are just ready to be custom made by sticking your information on them. They're short, sweet, to the point, but your name is the key. The more people see your name, your agency name, your agency brand, I cannot stress that enough. Find something that you like, a little logo, stick it on all the things. Because the more people see you, the more they're going to remember you, the least likely they are to call or pick up the phone for somebody else. But if they do, and your business card is next to their Medicare card, they might think twice. Am I wrong?
Not at all. And and I'm really glad that you mentioned ancillaries, because one of the other things that we talked a little bit about today that I really would love for us to, kind of dive into in the future is, as we're seeing plans change now and in subsequent years, as we see the potential for benefits to decrease, costs to increase, not everybody can afford all of those swings, right? They have to make a choice somewhere. And a lot of times they will choose to reduce their benefits to save some money. And that's a really great place where ancillary carriers can come in handy, because as we're seeing various copays go up on hospitals and emergent care and skilled nursing, for example, this is where you can take care of your client with their ancillary plan instead. So instead of going out and getting a Medicare Advantage that is a really expensive one, maybe it's that MedSup lookalike that we all talk about, which means it's really just a very expensive carrier, you might be able to build them coverage that's better for them on an Advantage plan that's got potentially some higher copays, but you can cover that plan at a lower cost.
How about all those MedSup clients that you've had on the book for 5-6 years? You're about to stop getting renewal commitment. They have had quite a few rate increases, so now their cost has gone up. I know that in a lot of the first looks, you're seeing a deductible on at least tiers 3 through 5. Some of the plans are deductible on all tiers. So please keep that in mind with these standalone drug plans. It's a great reason to touch base with your MedSup clients who have been pretty much hands off for the last few years. Remind them, A, of who you are, and B, help them save some money, but add those ancillary plans in because they're used to coming out of pocket. And they don't necessarily want the large out-of-pocket costs, just some normal costs, but an extra $30 for a hospital indemnity plan to cover their $300 per day, days 1 through 6 stay. They'll pay that. They'll pay that all day long just to have that peace of mind.
And if you're not offering your clients all of the coverage that they need, maybe you're the agent that says, I'm just not really super comfortable offering ancillary plans because I don't want it to look like I'm trying to throw in the kitchen sink. Just remember that at that point, you're only taking care of them as far as you're comfortable. Because I can tell you, they want you to tell them everything available to them. Let them decide if they're going to take it or not, but don't hold back and then miss out on a coverage that they could potentially really need or really benefit from because you just don't want to look salesy. Because I guarantee you, 99% of the time, they're going to be grateful that you showed it to them, explained it to them, and whether or not they take it or not is completely up to them.
And that's the thing, like, if they don't know about it, how can they say yes? They say no when they don't know about it. They don't know that they're saying no. So if you offer it to them, it becomes not only their choice, but it's something that they can think about to you later down the road with. Understand when they see you sending a retention mailer to them what it is actually about and why they should look at that plan. But I will say this, and it just kind of popped in my head, but I've been driving for a while, so if it's stupid, I'm sorry. But Progressive offers bundle plans for a reason.
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily for the discount. It's so that all of your PNC needs are met with one company. You guys, as insurance agents, are your own company. You are a self employed small business owner. You want all of somebody's plans with you. The same way Progressive, hopefully, this is not some weird trademark infringement or whatever, but they want all that
Progressive or
business
anybody else in that space.
That's right. Anybody who offers a bundle. But it's kind of like you pull through a fast food restaurant, you ask them for whatever, a double cheeseburger, and they're like, "Do you want the whole meal?" Well, you feel obligated to say yes.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing, a little bit different, just on a different scale as far as money wise, but it's why things are offered as a package. So if you say this is your MA plan, it's going to replace your $200 a month premium with your supplement. It's going to include your drug coverage. And if I was you, I would add this because it will take care of your copays. I'm probably going to be like, okay, sounds good to me. Thanks.
Absolutely. Build me a model. I am a sucker for free shipping and combo packages.
I'm glad you said shipping. That's not where I thought you was supposed to.
Hey, so speaking of, we had somebody send in a question.
Oh, good.
They would like to know if we already have the Retire Flow demo scheduled, and if so, when it is going to be.
So I'm pushing for September 4th. I haven't been in my emails today, so Davis might have replied to me, and I don't know. If so, that's the tentative date. If it doesn't work for Davis, I'll definitely get you the real date as quickly as possible. We'll have it scheduled by the end of this week.
But if you have an interest or you want some questions before then, feel free to reach out to your sales development manager, and they can go ahead and get you some help getting to the site, looking through it, whatnot.
You can schedule your own private demo too. Davis is a really, really nice guy. He'll go through everything as much in depth as you would want him to. So their website's crazy user friendly, just like their form.
And it's a super neat program because it sends it out. You've got a link, you've got a QR code, whichever kind of option you want. They can complete it, and it comes right back to you. Very simplistic, pretty hard to mess up. Not gonna lie, but
and they're yours. Like they're at no point is Retire Flow going to sell these or mine these or anything. Absolutely. These are 100% specific to you,
and they are encrypted. So that's how you kind of get that extra verification of safety. There is it is a fully encrypted system, so it's not going to get shared with anybody else that even uses the system or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any other questions out there? Is there anything that you guys are itching to know as far as 2025 is concerned, or maybe even concerned about as far as 2025 is, because it is officially a world gone mad, especially in some of these markets.
Absolutely. See if we've got any more questions in the chat. All right, looks like we do have one coming in. We'll give them just a second.
Sure. Hopefully you're not typing and driving. I'm just driving and waiting for Heather to read. She's like my co-pilot / secretary today.
All right, so we do have some questions around ordering leads and some stuff around that. So we absolutely, you can reach out to your sales development manager. We can get ordering leads through us. We have a variety of vendors and options. Yeah, we're getting a little late in the season for traditional mail drops, but you're not past that point yet. We can do it. We can get those for you. We've got some other options around phone leads, data leads, anything like that. Marketing's happy to help you with any kind of flyers or custom materials or anything like that that you want to mail out yourself. If you want to type, like we mentioned, those letters, we've got some form letters we can provide you as templates to be able to send out to your clients. We can put them with your logos, your information on them. If you would like to mail them yourselves, we can also provide, in that theory, you'd want to send it to your clients. But if you're wanting to do letters yourself, we can do lead lists. We don't always recommend that, though. You end up getting into a labor situation and a cost situation, but we do have tons of lead options. But I would say don't wait. Like I mentioned, it's August 21st. AEP is coming. It's the winter is coming. Dun dun dun. But don't wait or delay on that.
So I'm going to chime in because Heather loves this word, and I'm going to say
Don't do it.
grassroots marketing,
Organic marketing,
old school, feet on the street marketing. It's tried and true. It's labor intensive, but it's 100% yours.
And it's effective. It is. We highly recommend it. You are your own best advertisement. We love organic marketing.
So on a grassroots note, what you're going to do is buy a t-shirt that says, ask me about Medicare. Start some conversations on your own. We had tons of agents have successes at their local library in running educational events for seniors because they have questions about all types of things. Nobody understands what this Inflation Reduction Act means to them.
Absolutely.
I mean, we didn't really understand it until you have to sit there and study 40 some odd pages of CMS legalese. And then, I mean, that's a lot. Nobody else is going to do that. So again, you're your client superhero. Educate them. You're a small business owner. Start your business. Use your logo. Use your name. Use your branding. And really get yourself out there because leads are just that. They're leads, they're an opportunity. Events create multiple opportunities all in the same place, all at one time, which means you're more apt to have success instead of calling, and potentially getting frustrated. It's fun to talk to people. If you're not a people person, if you're an introvert, then probably not the thing that you want to do. But really, how many introverts are in sales?
It's true. Of course, you can be an extrovert for hire. You never know. Sometimes,
that's fair.
There's people like me. I like to go home, and my favorite hobby is a solo hobby. I'm going to read, but
I'll leave that one alone.
At work, I'm an extrovert. I love the people. I love to people. But we have tons of agents see a lot of success. They do things like they host events at the senior center. They, like Courtney mentioned, library. We have people that work food banks. Volunteering is a free way for you to get yourself out there and for people to recognize you. Wear a shirt with your name on it. Go pack some food boxes and load some cars. You would be surprised. I was in a doctor's office the other day as a patient, and a lady beside me is talking about dealing with she can't figure it out and all of these things. Perfect opportunity to say, if you have any questions, give me a call. Here's my card. And she did. 2 days later, I get a phone call. Hey, do you remember me? I was sitting beside you in the doctor's office, and I really just think it was destiny. Can you help me?
Everybody markets a little bit different. Please call your sales development manager, call any member of our marketing staff or staff in general. We're happy to have a conversation with you at any point. Like Heather said, apparently we are now extroverts for hire, and we're going to get shirts made that say just that because that's kind of fun.
That's right.
But it's what we do. We like to just sit around and brainstorm ideas, and what works for one person probably isn't going to work for the next person. So figuring out a plan that's going to meet your needs, your schedule, your particular skill set and knowledge level is definitely going to be key to your success. And I will say that there's a ton of business to be had this year, even if you have a big book of business to roll.
Absolutely.
Educating, referrals. If you help Betty Sue, she might refer you to Tim, who might refer you to his entire bowling group. Is that a thing anymore?
I feel like it should be. I was never very good, though. I had to use the bumper guards.
I just like to see how fast I can throw the ball. But anyways, it sounds like a fun idea. So maybe an event at a bowling alley. I'm sure they have senior day, anything like that. So,
And one thing that we will say is when we have years like this where we are expecting, rightfully so, a lot of upheaval, what you will see are the people that are not super driven, not super committed. They're going to start to disappear, and that means that all of these clients are not going to have agents. Those people will quit working and quit doing because it gets too hard and it gets too complicated. And if you buckle down and really stick with it, like Courtney said, there is so much business to be had out there. You're the expert, and that's what the seniors need. That's what they want. They need someone to be their expert, to be their superhero, to be their champion, and take care of this for them. And so this will be a big opportunity as we see a lot of these small organizations start
let's
to exit.
talk about some of the bigger organizations. I mean, let's
Absolutely.
think about it. Some of these huge conglomerations that we're all mad at anyways. All these telemarketers, these e-health, go health, whatever you want to call them. I'm sure y'all got some better words than me. They don't follow up.
Nope.
You can. You can send out mailers. You can really get out there and advertise your events. You can get in front of those clients and take back what was yours to start out with.
Absolutely. It's all just continuing to buckle down. Or buckle up if you're riding in the car.
That's it. Choice.
Buckle up for
Ticket or
safety.
ticket.
Look at her. Yeah, and if anybody's getting a ticket, it's Courtney. So she's gotta have all the safety she can.
I need my seatbelt. Good driver, just quick. So we are almost back in Knoxville to talk about quick. So we are going to wrap up unless you guys have any additional questions, comments, or concerns.
Let me check the chats. And
Cool.
I think we can have one. Nope, we are good.
Okay, well, we really do appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging in there on the last leg of our drive home from Nashville. We hope to see you at one of our rollout events, and have a great day.
Yes, please check the calendar online for signups.